week, or right now, I feel like a tulip in the snow. Last week was a really rough week, but I actually made it through. Lesson plans were due, some planning sort of things, and I got it all done despite being sick and feeling really down. I still made it through. The lesson plans are in, they're done, but they're not exactly where I want them yet, which I think is a good thing. I still want to improve them. I still want to see how they work, and if one thing works one day, I'm sure I'll change the next lesson for the next day or tweak it in some manner. I graded tests this past week, which were awful, and I was helping a student to correct them, since we allowed all the students to correct them for half credit, and realized that these students do not know how to take a multiple choice test. And I know our instruction should not be entirely based on testing. I wouldn't want it to be in the first place, but there is something to be said about knowing how to take a multiple choice test. And some of these students have no idea, or maybe they do know, but their test-taking skills are still pretty weak. But I was able to sit down with this student, and we had a great conversation about testing in general, and I was helping her out because she gets nervous on tests. So I was giving her some strategies to use, and also some strategies to use in the questions that were asked on the test, some word associations and things like that. And so I decided that for my Civil War lesson plans, for my unit plan, the majority, or all but one of my Just Do It's are multiple choice questions that I'll have them give them about 5 minutes to do first thing in the morning, or first thing at the beginning of class. And then I want to go through each of them and, kind of give them some test-taking tips. And hopefully by then they can get more used to them, and it's just 5 minutes out of every day that helps them take a test, or will help them when they do take the SOL test in May. I'm really excited about my lesson plans. I think a couple of them will really motivate the kids to learn what I want them to. And this week, I will be co-teaching with my cooperating teacher, and we are starting the Manifest Destiny unit, and I have a couple of ideas for those, but we're using mostly of my co-teacher stuff, which I really like. But there is one problem that both the cooperating teacher and I have, is that the Virginia SOLs have nothing about, for 6th graders, the Trail of Tears, or not a lot of stuff on Native American except for early Americans. And so I have found a song that I'd like to use with that, but I'll tell more about that when I get there. And so this week is my first full week in the schools. So I'll be going Monday through Friday, well, except Friday, that's first aid training. So Monday through Thursday, full days. I'll be co-teaching. And I'm definitely looking forward to it, just because I do have a better relationship with the students now, and I feel much more confident about being in front of the classroom. So this week I'll be focusing on performing in the classroom instead of sitting behind the desk planning most of the time. And I guess we'll see how this week goes.